Hey, and welcome back to another video. So this is an iPhone 11 running iOS 16, and in this video we'll be going over all the performance details and the features on iOS 16 running on the iPhone 11. First of all, we'll be covering all the performance, browsing, gaming, the more important stuff that a lot of people are here to see, and then we'll be going on into the new features on iOS 16 as well and how it affects the iPhone 11. We'll be not covering every single feature because there are so many minor features as well, but the major features we'll be covering here in this video. So this is the iPhone 11 on iOS 16 here in 2022. So as usual, before jumping right in, don't forget to smash that like button down below as it helps this video get on YouTube's algorithm, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell notification button so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, if you have any comments or questions, don't forget to leave them down in the comment section below and we can start a discussion or I can answer your questions. My social media is linked down in the description below, which includes Instagram, Discord and Twitter. And now let's jump right into this video. So to start things off, this video is segmented into multiple sections, so you can jump to whichever section you'd like if you don't want to watch the whole video. The video is segmented, and in the description there are timestamps as well. So first of all, let's start off with general performance, like the operating system in general, the home screens, the widgets and all that stuff. From what I've seen after using this for one day now is that I have not seen any difference when compared to iOS 15 in terms of performance. It is exactly the same as iOS 15. There's no stutter, there's no lag. There isn't any considerable thing that I have to complain about since iOS 15, and when the update came to iOS 16, there isn't much of a difference. As you can see, it is smooth, it's buttery, it doesn't stutter or lag. The drop-down menus and stuff come up perfectly. Your notification centers, your quick search, everything works just fine. I cannot tell a difference from iOS 15, so that's a good thing. The iPhone 11 handles iOS 16 just perfectly. And by the way, this is iOS 16.0. There are so many patches to come out to fix minor details onwards, but as a whole, I've been using this for a day and I could not find any major issues at all. This phone is actually really full as well. I've filled up the storage. It's got like 8 gigs left. This is my main camera phone that I use for my channel. I'm currently using my main phone, my iPhone 12 Pro Max, as you can see there. So I'm using that thing to record this video because usually this phone is the camera on my channel, but I'm using it for this video to showcase iOS 16 on it. And a heavily used phone like this should be the worst affected, and with a used up battery, because this thing's battery is quite old, a heavily used phone like this should be the one that gets most affected by a large update. However, it is not. It is completely fine. And the other one over there, this iPhone 11 that I use for my vertical camera angle, this one is also just fine. Both of them are running iOS 16 and I've been messing around with it in the past day, and I cannot honestly complain about the general OS performance. You can see it for yourself. There is no stutter, there's no lag. It's just like the phone was brand new. Now let us just open some apps and see how they run in the background, just so that I can prove to you that everything runs fine and opens fast. So there you go, YouTube Studio. Let us open the App Store over there. Again, it should load just fine. There you go. We can open music there. Loads up fine. We have the workout app there. What else can we open? Let's open Asphalt 9 here, and I'll be demoing this in the gaming section of this video. Now this will of course take a bit longer to load. Let us make sure we're on silent so music does not start playing. There you go, it loaded just fine there. I had to cover the top there because of my account information. Sorry about that. And yeah, so as you saw, those load just fine and everything runs perfectly in the background. Apps are loading fast, they're opening fast, well, relatively fast for what size it is. And As you can see, everything is open in the background. We can shut them off as well perfectly fine. So apps and stuff open just fine. Just make sure you update all your apps after updating to iOS 16 then to get the full performance out of those apps. Make sure you go to the App Store, update all of them right after the phone's update. Now it's time for a quick browser demo. So load up Safari there. Let's go to a big website, which is the best example being Apple's website. Loads instantly. Of course, as you can see, all the graphics and all that stuff load up just fine. The browsing experience is essentially the same as it was on iOS 15. I cannot tell a difference whatsoever. The apps opening, everything, it's honestly the same. There is no speed boost, but there's no speed decrease either as far as the iPhone 11 goes. As you can see, it loaded up just fine. Let's go to Nokia's website here. Let's go there, and then Nokia Corporation loads up fine. As you can see, everything is working fine. The websites, well, this website is a bit jittery. There you go, it loaded up perfectly. So yeah, it's smooth, it's fast, the browsing is perfectly fine to use. It hasn't affected the browsing experience at all. So there you go. Browsing on iOS 16 is essentially the same as on iOS 15. Now let us go on to battery performance, and as you can see, this iPhone 11's battery is at 87%. I use this constantly, almost every day, to record my YouTube videos, and it records at 4K most of the time. So this thing is a workhorse, honestly the biggest workhorse of this channel alongside that iPhone 11 as well. I bought this thing when it was launched, so this thing is quite old at this point. It was a launch day purchase, and I used it for some time as a normal phone, and then when I bought the iPhone 12 Pro Max, I switched to the 12 Pro Max and used this as a camera ever since. So as you can see, the capacity is at 87%, and in terms of battery performance, again, no different from iOS 15. It's the same, it lasts the same. I was recording a video just a few hours ago before I fully charged it again, and it performed the same. It dropped at a normal rate that I saw the same way it dropped on iOS 15 while I was doing the same thing, recording video in 4K. So yeah, the battery, as far as I can tell, and since I've been using it for other stuff as well, like browsing and basic other stuff just to get a feel for iOS 16, I can tell you that the battery performance is the same as iOS 15. So if you are worried about battery being affected, I cannot tell a considerable difference. Maybe there's a slight increase, maybe a bit better, but that may be just me not noticing things properly. It's probably essentially the same. No complaints there. And this is an 87% health battery. This is nowhere in the 90s, as you can see. So it is not going to take the battery as good as it once did, because that battery is slowly getting older. So yeah, if you're worried about battery performance, there you go. You don't have to worry, because it's essentially the same as 15. Face ID has also not slowed down at all. It's fast as ever. As you can see in this demo here, it works just fine in the dark as well. I was using it last night. It unlocks just fine. The update has not affected Face ID in any form or another. So if that was worrying you, there you go. You don't have anything to worry about. Face ID works just fine, and it's fast as ever. It is now game demo time, and I've loaded Asphalt 9, which is quite a taxing game on older hardware, and I've turned off the audio as well, the music, but everything else should work. I turned off the music for copyright reasons, but the engine sounds and stuff, you should still hear them. This game is, like I said, a bit more taxing on older hardware, and it's a great test. We have the first race loaded up here, and let's crank up the volume a bit and go right ahead. Okay, so you saw there that there was a bit of stutter at some points, but that's not due to the phone. That is just this game. I've tried this game on iPads and an iPhone 12 Pro Max and all that stuff. It still stutters. That's something to do with the game. So apart from that, it's running perfectly fine. So Call of Duty and stuff like that, they're less intense and they'll run perfectly fine. What else? PUBG and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry about any gaming issues on this. If you were worried that the gaming performance has gone down, it hasn't. What you saw, that single bit of stutter, that's just how Asphalt 9 is. Everything else should run just fine. So yeah, that was gaming on the iPhone 11 on iOS 16. So now that we got all the performance details and stuff out of the way, we can now talk about some of the new features. And of course, we're not going to cover every single feature. There's just too many to cover. You can look them up on Apple's website. First of all, let's start off with the new lock screen customization comboed with home screen customization as well. How you do it is you can either go to settings or you unlock your phone, but don't leave the home screen or the lock screen. Just unlock the device with your Face ID or password. Let's do that again. So now when you press and hold, nothing happens, but when you unlock it, let's do that. Okay, there we go. It's unlocked, and then you press and hold, then you get this. So you have a bunch of options. You can add quite a lot of them. Not sure exactly how much you can add, but I think it's unlimited. You can just add a bunch of home screens that you can home screens or lock screens you can pre-select and keep whenever you like to switch. So now let us set up a new one. So you hit there, and then I've covered this bottom half because suggested photos is there, but you have a bunch of other stuff as well, kind of like when you're setting up an Apple Watch. So there's a bunch of options here. You have collections, color, and then emoji, blah 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 blah, and then we have suggested photos over here as well as featured and stuff like that. When you move on to the top of the device, you can see it says photos, photo shuffle, emoji, weather, astronomy, and color. You can select any one of these. I'm not going to go into every single one. So under emoji, it's just a bunch of silly emojis and stuff. You can select all that. You can add custom emojis, all that stuff. Photo shuffle and photos as well. We have weather as well. You can add stuff according to your weather and all that, with background effects somewhat like in the weather. And then astronomy, blah 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 blah. You have all that stuff as well. And then we can move on to color. So let's use color as an option there. Then we have we can choose some colors there as well. As for the background, again, you can put photos in the background as well. And you have your widgets over here, so you can add or remove widgets the way you want. This has a small issue. It constantly shows Cupertino, even though I'm not in Cupertino. I don't know exactly how to fix that, but I guess they'll come up with a fix later. So there's a bunch of stuff there. You have widgets and you have your clock. You can select the color from here, the color that you want the clock and the whole setup to be, which is nice because you can actually open a color gradient, spectrum, and sliders as well. And you have that full option to completely customize your favorite color. So that's really, really nice. So that option is available to you, but there's some pre-selected colors as well, as including the transparent one, which you can have there. And you also have different types of clocks. As you can see, there are different fonts of clocks. And then when you hit the calendar and stuff at the top, as you can see, you can add your workouts to the top there. You can add your events, you can add your conditions, and many other stuff there as well. Once you're done with that, you hit add, and then you can choose to customize your home screen as a pair. And then you can add photos, you can add a blur effect to some of them, you have colors, and then I think you can blur it. No, you can't blur everything, but you have a bunch of stuff there. You want a gradient, you can choose the gradient from here. You have a bunch of colors here. If you don't like those colors, again, you have the option to do that, which is really, really nice. And then once you've set that stuff up, you go ahead and select it, and there you go. So that's your home screen customization. Again, when you want to customize it, just select that and go to it. So there's just a vast amount of stuff that you can customize. I'm not going to get into everything, but that's basically how you do it. And then if you don't like a home screen, you want to delete it, simply push up, delete this wallpaper. It deletes the home screen save and the wallpaper save as well. And there you go. So that is how you do the home screen and lock screen customization on iOS 16. So here are a bunch of other things mentioned on Apple's website. Now we looked at the lock screen stuff, and everything else is, well, not minor, but I'm not going to get into everything. We have lock screen linking for focus and focus filters and stuff like that as well. iCloud shared photo library. This thing is coming later this year according to Apple. So you have a bunch of options. Recover recently deleted messages and stuff under messages. You can edit a message for up to 15 minutes, but the person who you send the message to can actually see the edit history. You can undo send as well, mark as unread, the usual stuff. As you can see, this all can be on Apple's website. Mail got a few updates as well, as you can see, and Safari as well, pin tabs in tab groups, those kind of things, extension syncing. So Safari got a bit of boost as well. There's a bunch of new languages as well, as you can see. And password editing as well, suggestions, password suggestions, passkeys, replace passwords with easy and safer sign-in method, safe from phishing and stuff like that. Live text is also there. Siri got a bit of boost and stuff like that. Something that I wanted to share with you guys was the Photos app. Now Health also got some updates, the way you look at the Health app and stuff. There's a few changes that I noticed, and I haven't used the Health app on this phone in a while, but on my 12 Pro Max, which I'll be covering in a future video, probably tomorrow actually, I've been using the Health app, and there are a few differences in there as well. So that's also nice. It lets you track your medications and stuff there as well. Medication interactions, blah 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 blah. Family sharing, CarPlay is also something coming later on, a modification to CarPlay. Vehicle announcements coming later in, oh right, so there's vehicle, and I guess some new vehicle support. I don't know, I'm not an expert on CarPlay. Privacy, here's something really nice that I always wanted: lock hidden and recently deleted albums in Photos, which is this. Now your hidden and recently deleted can be basically locked behind a passcode or Face ID. For example, if you hit hidden, you gotta use Face ID or your passcode, and then only will it unlock. And that also goes for recently deleted, as you can see there. So yeah, I really enjoy that feature. That is really, really nice. Something that I've been waiting for quite a while. And we have, of course, lockdown mode, which I mentioned in a shorts video. So basically what lockdown mode is, you go to settings and then you scroll down to privacy and security, scroll even further, lockdown mode. Basically, it puts your phone into this ultra lockdown state where everything is restricted or monitored. In case you're being targeted by like a cyber attack or something, this is not going to happen to everyone, but if you're a high profile person or something like that, you can put your phone into lockdown mode and it restricts everything. It's somewhat like safe mode on Android, but what happens is basically everything is restricted, everything is controlled. If you think that you're being targeted by a cyber attack, you can put this thing on lockdown mode. It requires you to restart the phone, as you can see there. I haven't really tried it out yet, but that is what it is. So that's a good security feature to have it if you ever need it. Another new security feature is safety check, which you get this emergency reset thing and manage sharing and access. Basically, people you don't want to talk to anymore. It helps you disconnect from people, apps, and devices you no longer want to be connected to. For example, a Bluetooth device. It helps you streamline all of that stuff. So there's an option for all of that as well. It's built into the entire security system of iOS 16. So, and then we have more things in accessibility: Apple Watch mirroring, buddy controller, Siri call, hang up, and stuff like that. Some of it is somewhat in beta stages, as you can see, live captions and stuff. And there's this whole list of things, as you can see: contacts, camera, books. All of that stuff got a redesign. You can go ahead and read all of this. Of course, we're not going to cover everything in this video, but we covered the main things. So that's all I can cover for iOS 16 on the iPhone 11. It runs perfectly fine. It runs games, it loads apps. It is just the same as it was on iOS 15, but a bit better with all that nice customization. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you honestly did, don't forget to smash that like button down below, as it helps this video get on YouTube's algorithm. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell notification button so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. My social media is linked down in the description below, which includes Instagram, Discord, and Twitter. Don't forget to check out my other videos that I'll be covering on these on iOS 16, iPadOS 16, and watchOS 9 as well. By staying tuned by subscribing. Stay tuned for those in the upcoming days. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing them soon. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thumbs up.